Hey guys, this is Steve Higgins, your chief headbanger and host with the most of Peace Luv Biz. Welcome to the episode. It's going to be a good one. We've got our first guest that we're bringing on. We're excited to introduce Josie, but first off, Mary, are you surviving tax season? Are you doing okay?
I am. My name this week is Miss JFDI. Just blink and do it.
Fucking do it.
Yep, just fucking do it. I'm great. I have tons of energy, really amped up. We're kicking ass, taking names. Um, yeah, tech season's, tech season, but we're doing it. We're making it happen. I'm happy. And I'm super excited because we have Josie here today.
Yeah. So, Josei Harris, owner and founder of Black Bella Spa. Welcome. We're really excited to have you. You are the OG with us. So, how are you doing?
I am amazing. Thank you guys for having me today, Stephen and Mary. And I'm excited to be the inaugural guest. So I'm really, really stoked about that. So I can't believe I'm this excited about like financials. Anyway, it's something that used to terrify me. So I'm great. I'm here in Washington, D.C., just going through the Doge, Agent Orange, whatever is next. Coming off the heels of that presidential address the other night. Very charismatic, very interesting, very scary. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
here.
There's a
Yeah.
lot. I think we're going to be doing another episode about what that all means. Like,
Yeah,
there's a lot to break down.
absolutely. We're gonna do a bonus episode so that we can approach it. It was charismatic, always over the top. That's what people like and what how he sells himself. But we're gonna break it down and take out the emotion of it
Hmm.
and break down the financials on a bonus episode that we'll have come out soon. But yeah, once you get past all the drama and just take the words that he said, the actual
Yep.
words,
Yeah, and
except for
the
the
intention and
transgender mice.
yeah, just it
There
was
are
a
no transgender mice,
it,
by
it
the
was just
way.
and then I've never seen so many children paraded before. I was like, this is borderline abuse. Like, what's happening right now? I was so confused. But okay, at any rate, yeah,
But
that's
we
how. But okay,
digress.
so
Yeah.
silver lining, we have a bunch of buildings that are for sale. So I don't know. Maybe we'll have a Black Bella Spa compound soon. I don't know. So yeah,
Another one.
yes.
The
Another
w
one. Yes.
the way that you're growing, I wouldn't be surprised. So,
It's so much
yeah.
stuff happening here. There's a company that came in from, I don't even know where these people came from. Some weird country. It starts with a B, and they build these mega bathhouses. They have them all over the world, and they were like looking for me, so I'm looking for them. So let's see what happens, right? So I don't know.
Nice.
Sounds like a Bahrainian thing or something like that. Bahrain has money. Or
Uh,
Belly.
I don't know, but it's so crazy because we don't have anything like that in DC in terms of like true therapeutic bathhouse culture. We're talking something. The last I heard, they were talking about like 50,000 square feet. So
Ooh.
like really like this is a compound where you'll take your family and do your holistic stuff. So enough about them.
That's a
But
lot of That's a lot of water. Like,
it's a lot of everything. But
Look, I'm already like, let's do it. Let's do this. I'm
you
already excited about
I
it.
am
Let
so
me.
excited about, do you all know that literally, I mean, with God's grace, let me knock on some wood here. I know it's perforated, but it'll do. Every month, every month we get an offer to partner. Like every month, someone writes me and asks me to open a spa in their community. This month is the Arts District in Hyattsville, Maryland. Last month it was Columbia, Maryland. I'm so confused. I'm like, wait, Columbia the country or Columbia the city? Like what? I didn't even know what's going on.
what what's scary is I've got connections to Colombia, like that would be able to set that up if you wanted to go to Colombia and do that.
Crazy town.
So it's like
The
we
world has gotten small, like, so I love it.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's awesome. So I want to go not necessarily chronologically, but you weren't always as big as you are because you've grown your own little empire. Like you said, you've got people
Yeah.
coming to you left and right. So
Weird.
what was some of your inspiration behind starting Black Bella and what how did you do it?
So I did not realize I was starting an actual business. I had no desire to own a spa. I never even imagined that I would have like a spa, like who does that? I literally was selling ballistic armor to the local SWAT team and univents to the school district. And I was just like Bates boots, steel toes with my, it was cute though. I had like a hot pink, jacket and really snazzy. But it was, I never thought this would be my space. So a friend of mine introduced me to non-invasive vacuum buttock lifting. And at that time, it was 2014. There was this crazy trend where women were having illicit polymers and industrial grade silicone and all these other things injected in their bottoms to get a voluptuous bump. Women were literally dying. Like you had people who would book them in a seedy hotel room in Brooklyn, lay them down prone and literally put like fix a flat in their butt. Like there are people in jail right now because of this, like attempted murder. There were women getting limbs amputated. It was like just unreal stuff. Women were dying to get a big butt. And a friend of mine told me in Atlanta, they're doing this thing where it's no surgery. And I was like, I don't know about it. And proof of concept, right? I'm like a process driven person. So I was like, let's see how this stuff works. And when I saw the non-invasive buttock lifting, we literally were like, oh my God, we can save lives with this. It sounds so stupid now, but like I can save a life with a butt lift. We were like, we could save, because girls were dying. Like these are like young mothers. And it was even women that you would say, why would she do that? Like she's like a grandma. And so through that journey, proof of concept, I ordered this first little machine. No one was doing Cash App. There was no Zelle. You could Western Union money. That's how you exchange money globally back then. Or somebody put it in their wallet and flew it down to the country. So I met some girls at Bucaramanga. I just prayed on it and threw it into the wind and said, I don't know about this. It's like $6,000. I'm gonna just send the machine and I'm gonna see what happens. I had to settle with it and say, okay, you're in debt, you're stressed out, you're struggling. The guy you're with is so dumb he won't pivot. His business is failing. So nothing that you're doing is working. It's not like you're like razzle dazzle. No one's winning here. And you spent more money on less. You know what I mean? At that point, I would spend like $5,000-6,000 on a vacation to Mexico, to Jamaica, just no ROI, right? So I did it. I said, I'm just gonna wire the money to these girls in the mountains of Bucaramanga, Colombia, and hope it works. And they actually sent me the machine. So I was like, whew, they didn't rob me. That was great. Then this machine gets here and I'm in my living room and I'm like, what the hell am I am literally about to smell somebody's butt. Like it just never, the concept is here. But when you have a booty in your face, you're like, did I just... So off like a Band-Aid, I just went on Craigslist, bought a bunch of used massage tables and implements, set up my iPad on Skype, because that was how we talked back then. I don't think Zoom was really like a novice thing.
No.
And that was like, it was like I cracked open a can of worms, because number one, it worked. And number two, the people that I was practicing on became addicted. They were like, oh, holy cow, this works. So then now I have my trial person bringing her sister, bringing her cousin, and it was to a point where I said, I'm still doing my corporate job, mind you. I'm still broke. I'm still running around stressed out, waking up at 3 a.m. to get to a base and just stupid stuff, right? Waking up, realizing I have on mismatched boots, the wrong socks, just crazy stuff, just stressed out. So that was it. It was like I peeled the little thing off and I saw the trajectory going, and I did know enough about business to know that once you get that rhythm, once you get that pulse going, you don't stop. A lot of us will try things and then we'll put up a coming soon sign. Guess what? Nobody cares. If you have interest and you have something going and there's a thread of hope in there, you got to ride that pony, baby. You got to jump on it and keep going, because if you let it fizzle, you may never get it back. So that's what I did. When I tell you guys, I was in this like 100-and-something-year-old cottage. This is like an old house. I love that house. I renovated. It was all cute, but it was an old house with a little vestibule in the living room. You know, do you guys have vestibules and stuff, Stephen? And it's like when you walk in the house, there's a little area with a door that closes, like the mud room or something, right?
Yeah.
Like it cuts off the main room. by the time I put the table in there and all my little setup, I literally could not open the door to the living room anymore. That's how tight this space was. And this is my living room. This is not a dedicated room. This is crazy. So I have strangers just laying here half naked, letting me try stuff on their butt. It was just a whirlwind. So then I just scaled it and said, I don't want to keep cleaning my restroom. I don't know these people now. Let me get a little tiny inexpensive room and practice there. But it was tumultuous. I attempted to do it with a partner. It's just a lot with this story. So that's how I started. Proof of concept. Let me get this stuff out of my house, and the people want what I'm putting down. And I was trying to figure out how to give them more. That was literally the trajectory of Black Bella. It was weird.
Well, so like you said, it's a bit of a crazy story. Something that I recently talked about in a networking group was the 4 C's, and it's about the stage of how you get into business. The first one is the commitment. You dove in head first, jumped in both feet, sending money to Colombia. That's crazy. Then you had the courage to kind of jump in and keep developing and truly start growing it. And it's only until you really got to grips with it and everybody really kept going with it that you found that you had the capability to do this and keep working with it. So at what point did you have the confidence to take that leap of faith and make the transition between doing your regular, say government job or whatever to full time?
So I would say the numbers. So I knew it was working. I knew it at this point. This is when like the dance clubs, the strip clubs were all trendy. Everybody had to go to the strip club. Men, women, children, puppies. Everybody was at the strip club. So like all the dancers were there. All of like the hot nightclub girls were there. It was just so much traction. And by this time, I knew enough to know I needed to know more about anatomy and the body and everything else. So it was the numbers. I said, okay, I need to learn more. What's the lowest barrier of entry where I can learn anatomy and safety? And it was massage therapy. So I said, oh, I'm making enough money here to pay for massage therapy school. And that's another thing I could sell. So now I'm working the corporate job, trying out this business in the middle, and going to school at night. It just got stupider. And the numbers, one day I looked up and I realized I was actually making money. And then I was like, no, that's not right. And I remember it was a Monday night because it was about midnight. And I said, this can't be right. I'm just sleepy. I'll wake up tomorrow morning and look at the numbers again. And when I looked, the numbers were numbering. I literally had made like 60,000 in a couple, 60 some thousand in a couple of months. And I was like, I'm really not making 60,000 in a couple of months over here with this job. So I was like, oh my God. And also my number one customer complaint was that I didn't have enough appointments. People weren't even giving me Google reviews back then. I don't even know if I had a Google My Business page. I had Groupon. They were going on Groupon and complaining that I didn't have enough appointments. And this is one thing that I know about people. When you tell people that you have a side business, they treat you differently. I like to observe humans. They treat you like, oh, it's not important. She's not really serious about. So I lied by omission, and I never told people that I had a job. For their knowledge, I was just here in this studio working in these scrubs every day. So it was like monkey bars where I had 3 rungs, and I was just, and all the while I was like breaking up from a 20-year relationship with my best friend and my ex. Like it was a year of exodus, but then like a year of like entry of like this new thing. So long story short, the numbers were numbering. That Tuesday morning, I saw the numbers and I said, oh my God. And by then I had left the big company that I worked for and went with a smaller construction company, and all these negative things were going on with that company. So it was like I was set up in a divine situation where they deserved for somebody to quit on them. I'd never left a job. You know how your mom says you never leave in a manner in which you could never come back. So you always give them a proper 3-week notice and help them transition the new person. On that Tuesday morning, I called those people and said, we have an emergency with my family business. And I wasn't lying. Forgive me. You know when they say, yeah, it's a lie because you're not really omission. I was like, when my dad died, he did die. and I gotta take care of my family. I did need to take care of my family business. And
he just didn't die Monday night. So
he just didn't die. I mean, sorry guys. You know, it was a little. So that was it. And I said, I'll send you your laptop back. And then I sat in that suite and said, oh my God, now I need me a husband. I have no health care, dental or vision. So I was sitting there like, what did I do? I literally, could taste metal in my mouth. I was so scared.
Well, and to your point, I had a conversation this morning with a realtor, and she made a really good point. If you set your availability, it's none of anybody's business why there is no other availability. Like, that's and new clients, people that you're trying to get into the door, it's definitely not any of their business, because the impression that you kind of need to give off is that you're too busy at that time, so you can't meet with them.
Yes.
Whereas in reality, you've got a doctor's appointment, you've got to drop kids off at school, you're taking time for yourself.
Life.
You've got focus time, catch up time, whatever it is. Like, you need to have that time
to do it. And I think that's one of the things that I'm learning and mastering business anyway, is your business should run like a faucet or a tap, where you should open it and close it when you want, if it's dragging you along. Because then I did that. I dived all the way in, Stephen, and I was like, I'm in this studio now. Let me just take the appointments. I created an 8th day. That's how hard I was working. Like, I literally created an 8th day of the calendar. I told you guys the dance girls would come to me from the major strip club. It was Stadium nightclub back then, like high-end place, steakhouse. That's where I met this person that connected me with Mary. That's another story. Okay, so
we'll find out that.
So I would work to the bone all day and night. And then the dancers would fly in from around the country, and a lot of their flights were coming into our Baltimore airport, which was like 20 minutes from my studio. So I was so silly that I would nap in the studio sometimes and get myself back together and create this 8th day where I would do another round of services and treatments. I'm in there at midnight. I'm in there at 1. Like, they're coming to me on their way to the strip club, and they're like, touch me up, get my stuff done. I'm ready to hit the stage. And then it was so dangerous because I'm in this Class C office building. No one is here. No security is here. And then it dawned on me, these girls actually have security. Like, okay, this is dangerous. And then also they want to pay you in cash. So now I'm sitting here with like hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and I'm watching the security guy count the money. So then my brain all these things just organically happen. I'm watching people when they're watching me. And I'm like, he is thinking I have a lot of money in here. He's probably going to murder me. So then it was like, new policy, no cash. Put your money on a card and send it to me. Put your money in the bank. Do something else, but we don't accept cash. So I had to do a big performance in front of this guy, like, no money's here. I can't take the cash. Crazy stuff.
And I imagine it wasn't long between then and finding Mary. Like, how? Tell us a little bit about when you realized you needed
a book. I need a book. Okay, so I had this Excel spreadsheet, and I was just excelling it down. Like, I just
Mary cringing. That's great.
I just knew that everything that I did needed to be on said spreadsheet. It was color coded. It was kind of cute.
A lot of pink, I imagine.
A lot of pink, a lot of fuchsia, it was so good. Yeah. But the challenge is, I was so afraid of accounting. I knew that it was a thing that was out there for big businesses. I didn't think that I could afford accounting. But what I didn't know is that I couldn't afford to not have accounting. I literally
Thank you for saying that. Oh my God.
I was stuck. So if I thought 60 something thousand was a lot of money, I'm like, holy come on. So I meet this guy. It was just spicy. You know, he's chasing me around the strip club, and I'm like, but the women are naked. Why is this man chasing me? This is so weird. So lo and behold, he was what I needed at the time. Like, I'm intuitive. I try to be intentional, and I really, really believe that God sends me everything I need. Somebody's sending it to me. Buddha, somebody is sending me what I need. So this guy who wouldn't stop, like when I say chasing, I've run up into VIP with my friend, and I'm like, let's just go. She's like, he's gonna murder you. He's gonna kill you. I'm like, well, don't drink the drinks. Like
he's gonna be wearing your skin.
We go this way. He comes this way. So we dip up and going around in the back, and we look down there, and he's just standing there like, and I'm like, we just need to go. We try to run out. He's talking to me. The dancers are like talking over me. It was mass pandemonium confusion. I'm just like, I just want to leave. He's yelling at the dancers, no, I'm not coming back there. They're like, bring him back here. He has money. And I'm like, I don't care. My friend is like swirling her drink. He's going to kill you. And I'm just like, why am I alone in this journey? Give this guy my card, just hoping that he goes away. Mm-hmm. He starts calling me. I'm like, I am working. Like, I have no time. I don't even know what you want. What are you? Long story short, he appeals for my time. It works out. We have a conversation. And then I'm like, oh, you're actually a real person. I didn't know. I just thought okay, great. And we became kind of fast friends. And he knew things about business that I needed to know. And excuse me, one thing I say about him, he was obsessed with what I was doing. He was like, I want to see. I want to get in there. And he's like, oh my God, the way you maximize the space. He literally put the fire under my butt and was like, you need a bigger space. And I'm like, I can't afford it. He's like, yes, you can. This is how much it costs. You're already paying him. And I'm like, really? I didn't know this how much that stuff costs. Then he's like, you got to meet Mary. Mary's going to come in here. She's going to get all this crap done to her. She's going to love you. Da, 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 da. And I was like, I don't even know who he's talking about. Is this his other girlfriend? This man, I was like, I knew he was strange. He's like, I love me some Mary. She going to do. And I was like, is this man trying to put me in a harem? Like, what's about to happen?
Make you an Oiran, yeah.
I mean, he just keeps going.
And you have, to this day, well, no, now I think he's sent me like 2 or 3 people. I was his. Like, he does not like to refer me to anybody because I'm his. I've known him for like 15 years or something. And when he said, I have somebody for you, and I was like, what? I almost fell out of my seat. Like,
I was like, I cannot afford an accountant.
We laugh about it. But remember, my first reaction was, child, I do not need any one of your little girlfriends as a client. And he was like, Mary, please. And I was like, okay. And I met with you, and boom.
It was insane. I was like, I cannot afford this. I don't have any money for her. How am I supposed to pay her? Like, I'm in here now. My head is like underwater. I'm thinking I actually have to figure out how to pay my mortgage. I have to figure out how to pay my carpet. Like, I was still paying regular bills and sitting here now in this suite like, oh my gosh, what have I done?
Well, that's it.
So the accounting, so by bringing an actual public accountant, someone who this is what they do, they know how to look at the money and teach me to look at the money differently. Number one, it took a crap load of pressure, stress, and just when how you fear the unknown. So now I had someone who had that part covered, and we developed a relationship very quickly. Mary's like, oh, you actually you do have a brain. Okay, great. Let's talk. I don't know what this guy was. I don't know, but it's like when you see two bulls in the thing and they're walking around each other and they're like, and then the circle. I don't know. So
what a side eye going. Like,
yeah. So like, and so then it was like, yes, she's gonna help me. Yes, she's gonna make it affordable, which is like the biggest thing. Like, I'm literally like, I can't afford any of it. And so that was my big scaling moment. From the moment where he met me, I had scaled from my house to a tiny room, to a tiny room, to a medium room. And guys, one thing about entrepreneurship, really, I always tell people, forget what you do. It really has really almost nothing to do with the thing that you actually do. Entrepreneurship is really about problem solving and finding the right people who can master the different, I call it the bail team. You got your banker, your accountant, your insurance, and your lawyer. That's the infrastructure, the foundation. Those are the pillars of business. If you're missing one of those cogs, just the bottom could fall out on you, right? Banking, accounting, insurance, and legal. You got to have a resource for each of them. And they don't all have to cost a crap load. You know, I tell people go to the colleges around you, the legal colleges. They have clinics every month where there's supervised visits, yada, yada. But the money, the money, the money. By partnering with Mary, she just changed my lenses. She let me see and understand I was actually making more money than I thought I was making. And then the biggest thing is she helped me with transacting. Like, what should I do next? How should I do it next? And then I'm talking to her and I'm like, now I know that I can actually afford this. You know, that was my first triple net lease. I didn't know anything about triple net. I was renting suites from Africans. You know, I'm in here trying to do massages and people were next door microwaving stockfish. I'm like, great.
That's not the ambiance you want to give off as a med spa, is it?
But okay, so back then I still wasn't at a spa level. I was still
Right.
just doing my body sculpting, doing my little butt lifts, doing my little stomach stuff, doing a couple detoxes. I never aspired to have a spa. It was super, super organic. When you go through I think different steps in businesses and you're scaling your resources and then your team and then oh my God, Mary, how long did it take me to even pay myself for the first time? Like four.
It took
So
probably
hard.
like 4 years.
And I'm
4
sitting
years.
here like, how are you in debt and not paying yourself? Like, connect the dots. What are we supposed to do? So, just learning all these different things about financials was a lifesaver, and I can't say enough about it because that was the catalyst, and that Mary was the tool that helped me to get to the next spot. I would have never gotten my first real space, that triple net lease where I actually had 4 respectable treatment spaces and a retail and lobby area. I don't know if you've ever seen the picture of my first space, Stephen, but my first
No.
space, when I say it was a room, and I had went, see what I say, problem solving. I found this company called Room Dividers Now, and they made these freestanding, like big, thick, almost like
Yeah.
theater drapes. And I went and ordered a set of room divider curtains. Let's just call it what it is. I ordered some curtains, y'all. And the curtains, I put them in this one room shaped like the letter T
hmm
and created 2 treatment stalls and a reception area. What in the who, the what? You're in one tiny, less than 500 square foot room. You got an audacity to have a desk, you have lateral files, you have a settee, you got aromatherapy, music. Women, the place was so tight that they were in there holding each other's purses. One day I would have one client going and beside this curtain, then I come out the curtain and one is sitting here waiting, hi. And I go on the other side and there's another client on the table in there. And they're actually busting down the door to get in this space. Can you believe it? So that's what I tell people. You don't discount yourself. Don't overthink it. You just have to do it because you can create whatever feels, atmosphere, vibe, and they're going to buy it. I remember I had this woman come to my door and it was just me. So I'm running between clients, greeting clients. I had to lock the door. For me, I'm going to go in a place and get almost half naked. I'd be kind of skeeved out if you start locking the doors. I'd be like, well, damn, is it safe in here? They were like, okay, girl, go ahead, get the door. And I'm like, oh my God. The lady knocks on my door and I'm like, she's like, I'm here for my appointment. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't find it. I'm panicking. She bursts out laughing and shaking her head. And this lady's a high school principal. She says, you know what? I'm just pressed. I'm lying. I was like, what? She said, I just wanted to be in here. My husband told me I was pressed too. I just wanted to be in here. I don't have no appointment. I was like, what? That's when I knew. I said, oh, this is crazy. This lady, high educated. I said, child. She was like, take my money. So when I tell you guys, I always get emotional. I'm the town crier. But when I tell you, you can create from a grain of rice something that people are going to want, people are going to pay you for, people are going to put it in your budget. It's just such a blessing and an honor because all you have to do is be authentic and you give them what you're going to give them the way you're going to give it to them. Don't lie. Don't try to be someone else. Sell the damn thing, because what I know about business is I don't beg people to patronize my business. I connect with people who are already looking for me. That's, how you market and you get the path of least resistance and a higher value client and relationship like that. So that was the beginning of everything. Moved into my space, hired my first person. That was terrifying. No systems, no processes, no training manuals. I just had a person, and I'm like, Lord, I hope she doesn't do something and I get blamed for it. This was pre-lawsuit, so that's another story. So okay, yeah.
So I think here, like we definitely gonna have to have you every month and just make this a series because there's so much we could go on for hours. So I think here's a good point that we kind of pause. But I will say this: we have worked together now for like 8 or 9 years. We have partnered together, which is super important. And when was the first time we actually met face to face? Because this is important.
Oh,
we
my
have
God.
worked together, partnered together, built her business, like she said, from a tiny room to you have 3 locations, a retail, a spa. And the first time we met each other was a year and a half ago.
Was it last year?
face-to-face.
2 years ago. Yeah.
And that's the thing. The world has gotten smaller with technology. And a lot of people have this thing where they're like, I need to go and talk to my account. For what? What, you're taking a box of receipts over there? No one's doing that. That was circa 1962. Like, everything that you need should be digitized at this point and encrypted and protected somewhere. But the relationship is I feel like it's the work. And it's something about the way that we were both able to curate our partnership, right?
Yeah.
Because yes, it was the feels, and yes, it was like, hey girl, hey, but the work was the work first for many, many, many years. And every time, it's just so much with this. Okay. So I tell people, you have accounting, you have bookkeeping, and then you have business development. Not all CPAs are in those different rungs of business and development. Some people just want to do your taxes. That's called H&R Block. Right. And then I'm telling people, you're going to H&R Block and they work at the post office for real. So that's not necessarily where you want to entrust your financials, because there's so many changes and ebbs and flows and different laws, and forget write-offs, just rules and regulations. You need somebody who knows that stuff. So by having Mary, I know that she knows that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, that's why you need a Mary. I say that to everybody.
You gotta have someone who is what they do.
And I know we're at time, and I know we're wrapping up, but I will say this, and I love myself. Everybody knows how much I'm in love with myself, but I am a unicorn when it comes to what I do. I am a unicorn in the sense that we partner. I know every aspect of accounting, and I like what I like. I specialize in what I specialize. We do what we do, but
to do it for small business.
That's work. Yeah.
And to do it for so that's another thing, because small business, we need it. We can't afford to not have it, but we can't afford, like, I've had someone approach me before. Oh, I do your fractional. I'm going to charge you this quarterly fee and X amount of percentage of your revenue. Who can afford that? Like, who do you think I am? Elon Musk? I don't have money for that. But to scale it and grow with me is exceptional. And as you said, to be a unicorn and live and breathe and eat in this space and be able to help me head off those problems and challenges has saved me on so many levels. I don't know. So yeah, it's just so much. Oh my God.
Well, so we're excited to keep diving into this, and we're definitely going to keep revisiting, and we want to go through the whole story because you have a massive story.
I need a book.
Yeah.
You do need a book. I might have to find a copywriter for you or something.
Yes.
But we'll definitely get you back on. Where can people find you, Josei?
Everything is Black Bella Spa. Keep it simple. BlackBellaSpa.com, Black Bella Spa on Instagram, Black Bella Spa on TikTok, Black Bella Spa. That's it.
Well, the great thing is Josei teaches people how to do this, and she's become a master at her craft. So we're definitely going to get into that on the next one, maybe 2 down the line. But
we have so much to cover before we get to that one, but we definitely need to talk about that.
Okay, I need a syllabus.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, well, no, thanks for joining, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this first special episode with Josei, and until then, have a peaceful day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Josie. We love you.
Love you guys. See ya.